Lucious T here, and it is time for a game break. This week we are continuing with Icewind Dale. I've made it through chapters 3 through 5. I'm right at the beginning of chapter 6. Although ironically, the way this game works is once you get to chapter 5, you literally have access to chapter 6 at the same time. So I thought, generally these chapters take 4 hours, whatever. So I get into chapter 5, and within 10 minutes I get to chapter 6. I'm like, alright, something went wrong here. And it's just, they give you access to it. But yeah, this week was a great example of why I needed to do this type of thing. Especially for the channel, as far as getting good, honest opinions, because I played the first half of chapter 3, I want to say on Sunday, and I got right up to the point where you get to the safe zone. So you go to a tower, it's a Tower of the Shattered Hand, and it's a elven tower that's been destroyed by undead and orcs, and there's all these undead creatures at the bottom, and it's a real kind of maze going up. You have several different ways to go up floors, and then eventually you get to a place where you got to go down floors on the other side of the tower. But if you go up to the 4th floor, you're on a safe zone, and then you have to go to these 3 different spires and clear out each one of them, and then one leads to a 4th spire you can't access. So I got to the part where I cleared the entire bottom half of the tower, and I was just wiped. My characters were just so underpowered. I was getting tired of only having, pulling one guy out and getting him in. There was a bunch of mage-like creatures that were doing a lot of damage. There were certain enemies that just couldn't be damaged except for by a person with a holy weapon. And it just really grated on me. So I took 4 days off. I didn't play it at all on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. When I came back to it on Friday, it was like I was seeing it with fresh eyes again. I enjoyed it. Maybe it was because the rest of the tower was enjoyable, but I smashed that. I went to chapter 4, and chapter 4 introduces a new mechanic where the cave you enter will respawn. So far, all up in this game, nothing has respawned once you kill it, other than when you rest, you'll have random enemies come at you. But with this one, the cave respawns, so they have these blue mushroom people, and I guess it makes sense because there's all these growing blue mushrooms. But they always constantly respawn, and then there's these 2-headed ogre people that will fight the mushroom people or fight you. And the mushroom people are dangerous because they can shoot a confusion spray that will do all different types of stuff to your characters, so you want to avoid them at all costs. And then the cave people can do big damage, but you can range them very easily, which is what I found, is that you could just kill them all, have everyone use their range weapons, and by this point you're starting to get specialized range weapons, because I think I didn't mention this before. You get items that you have to take to shopkeepers or certain people who have specialties in potions or artifacts, and they will inspect them, and then once they inspect it, then the item is showed its true nature, at which point you can sell it for a hell of a lot more money, or you can use it for your troops. And by this point, I have specialized weapons for everyone. I got specialized armor. Some people have helmets. Some people have rings. Some people have necklaces. So my team is getting stronger. And I don't use magic that much. I'm always like that. That's why I was reticent to have mages and clerics and all that. I probably should have just had a bunch of berserkers and warriors and stuff if I actually went through and just did a playthrough of me just doing my style of game. But I started using the haste spell a lot, which after you use it, your team gets exhausted, so you always have to rest them. But it gives them essentially limitless power to just wreck stuff, and you match that with the other things, and you get a synergy. So you have a synergy of the team, and that really got me through chapter 3, but it also weared me down. Now, getting into chapter 4, I started having enough armor to kind of just not hack and slash my way through it, but hack and slash my way through it with minimal failure. And then I found out that if you rested in that cave, you wouldn't spawn the enemies. So it was nice to get some strategy with the levels, and it made it so that I couldn't just go back to town every which way and examine my items, because that's what really started to wear down on me in level 2 and in level 3 before I figured out that there was a top floor. If I'd known in level 3 had a top floor where there was a place you could rest and a shopkeeper, that probably would have helped make level 3 less burdensome as well, because you end up having to find all these pieces to put together a machine that then restores the sanity of the... Anyway, we're not getting into that. But level 5, once I got through level 4, is you end up going into a dwarven underground area, and you have to defeat a lich. A lich is a type of ghost that puts its life essence in something called a phylactery, which is funny because a lot of these things are in WoW, and it really shows me how much World of Warcraft really borrows from Dungeons and Dragons lore. Because they even have something in Chapter 5, you come across ice salamanders, and salamanders is another name for the Naga in WoW, which are these kind of creatures that look almost like serpents with arms, but they have no legs. They walk upright on tails. And so after you kill the lich, which I killed the lich by accident, I found his phylactery, and you walk into a certain tomb, and the tomb kills it. It's almost like it's consecrated ground. So I just did it by accident, because before that, every time you killed the lich, he would rise again in 3 to 5 minutes or whatever. So you have to kill him over and over. But I got lucky on that. But Chapter 5 was great because you get into these ice trolls and the ice salamanders, and there's a little revolt going on. So you have to choose sides if you're going to help the slaves or you're going to help the masters. And what's funny is walking around the ice salamander area, they still damage you with their frost aura. And I ran across this random human woman who was kind of a bitch. So I went to the nearest ice salamander and said, hey, there's a chick over there. And they killed her. And then when I found the slaves underground, they're like, oh yeah, our leader is a woman named Vera. And I'm like, oh, that's the woman who just got killed. But I was able to get experience on both ends. And one of the nice things about being able to save constantly is it almost gives you a constant save state to test the waters of where you're going to do. Because I went and attacked the slaves, and then I started losing reputation. It said I couldn't use my holy spells. I guess that because that was an evil thing, and most of my group, not that I know about, chaotic good. I think they're all good, because I found this evil mage robe that no one could use. So I went back, and I ended up killing the salamanders, which helped because they dropped some fire resist gear, which I walked into Chapter 6 and already there's fire aura salamanders, so I'm sure that'll come in handy. And they bring back the trolls again, which the trolls have to be killed with a fire shot. But now, because I had all these fire ammo from various dungeons before, I was just able to take down the ice trolls, and it was a lot easier experience. All in all, I'm enjoying the game again, though. So that's the main thing, is that taking that 4-day break, which if I had to get a video out on this, I would not have been able to do. You'll see that sometimes. I've talked about how sometimes games wear on you. So this is very freeing, being able to take a few days off, knowing that I don't have to beat something that, like, this won't happen on all games. Like, some games really are just tiresome. But on this particular game, which is the reason why getting into these RPGs is so difficult, is sometimes you need to take a break. And I needed one on this. I was getting to my limit because I'm not playing it the right way. I'm learning it. And it's one of those things where you have to play these over and over. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the game wraps up. I hopefully will have it beaten by next week and we'll do a full video. But for right now, I've just entered Chapter 6. My team is doing very well. And I'm looking forward to more of it. So yeah, that's been the game break for this week. It's so nice getting a hold of you guys. Let me know what you think. And I will get to that winner of the Man-Eater contest. I'm waiting for Jen to pick a winner. So I will put the winner of the Man-Eater copy in the Icewind Dale review. Alright guys, so nice getting a hold of you. Take care.